Hello, welcome to episode 7 of Sabbatical Uncle Stories. In this episode, I will recollect what I've been doing for the past month. It has been around 30 days since I've taken my break. So the mode of how this episode will be is I'll just ramble on. I will just go on a stream of consciousness mode. So I expect that there will be a lot of cutting and pasting of the different scenes or different parts of this video together for times that I just blank out or I talk rubbish. So actually, before I start into the three main points that I want to talk about today, I have been doing a lot this past 30 days. There wasn't a time that I feel bored or whatsoever. But a lot of the things that I've been doing are not very Instagram friendly. It's not very Facebook or YouTube video friendly. It's basically just exercising, spending more time with parents, with family, exercising. Yeah, I mentioned exercising. Reading, practicing musical instruments, being more active on social media, doing video recording like this. So some of them will make really boring videos, so I didn't bother to put it up. So I will share three main points that I have in this video. The first point is that the biggest difference between work and now on a break is no work. So but prior to me taking the break, I would think that when I have this sabbatical, this 6 to 8 months break, I will just automatically feel happier. I will automatically feel more carefree. But I think the main point I want to bring out is that the absence of work and formal work responsibilities does alleviate stress, but it doesn't really automatically makes one feel carefree. I had to look up a dictionary, what is the opposite of stress? So it turns out to be, I think, carefree. I think really a lot depends on what you do in place of work. So it's entirely possible that someone goes on a break from work, but he ends up unhappier, more stressful, and so on. So I think it's like the absence of happiness might not be sadness. It can be just neutral. I want to make this point because there was some. I think some friends were like, you're on a break, must be very shock, right? Yeah, it does, but it depends on what you're doing, you see. So for me, doing these things like very, very simple things like reading, simple and also quite free or cheap. Some of these things that I love doing does make me feel happy. So that's pretty good. If you are taking a sabbatical, if you are taking a no pay leave for extended period, I think you have to set the right expectations. Don't expect that you'll be like heaven, but it really takes some. I guess you have to engage in something that you like to do. So that's point number one. Point number two, I spent much more time with my family. That includes my parents. I go to my parents' place every week. In addition to the weekends, I will just spend one weekday. It's like a no agenda day with my parents. I just swing by, and although my parents' place is not exactly very near my place, I'll still just swing by. I'll usually bring my acoustic guitar along and practice there. I'll just hang out there for most of the day. And I spend more time with my kids. And also coincidentally, now it overlaps with the holiday period, so I spend a little bit more time with kids. In the past, during holidays, if I work, they will largely be at the student care, or my wife will look after them at home. But now I spend a little bit more time with them. I thought the second key point I want to say is we should all spend sufficient time, devote sufficient time for yourself, your family, and your friends, even if you're busy. Or rather, you should pay special attention to do so because you're busy. I think that when I'm very engaged at work, very busy at work, I tend to put these things, while they're important, and I might not realize it so much, I'll put them second. The thing is, you need to really spend more time for yourself in order for you to be in a productive state, to be fully fully engaged, to be fully attentive at work. For example, sleep. I was talking about sleep to some of my friends. There was a book called Why We Sleep. I think it's recommended by Bill Gates some time back. But basically, TLDR, you should sleep enough every day. And sleep is not something you can compensate during weekends. You just need to spend just dutifully spend at least 7 hours of sleep every day. No more than, I think 8 would be luxurious, but I think no less than 7. And this 7 hours doesn't really mean just from the time you hit the bed before fall asleep to the time you get out of bed. This 7 hours would mean that you are really sleeping restfully. I realized that when I was not having enough sleep, I tend to make more mistakes. So that's not a good thing. I guess that at this point in our lives, if you are in the same age bracket as me, you realize that time is limited. So it's a conscious decision that you have to make to spend and devote and protect the time that you spend with loved ones. For the parents, it's simply that perhaps if you, like me, haven't been really paying much attention, it's really time. It's never too late. It's really time to do so. For example, I realized that actually my parents, a number of medical appointments that they go to, and my sister has been usually the one to take care of them, or my dad would bring my mom along and so on. So I thought that this is something seemingly to be of increased frequency. And also with kids, kids grow up very fast. Now they are at the last phase of their childhood where they will still want to stick and hang out with us. Very soon they won't be. So I think it's really a part of the time with the kids that you want to cherish. It will be worth it. So moving on to the third point, in this month I've started taking a lot of videos of myself. Actually myself a lot more. I never done that, but I think the third key point that I want to say is to tell everybody that you should take more videos of yourself and videos of your loved one. Why? So rewind back 20 years ago when my parents, at that time, video cameras are not so affordable. So whenever there's an opportunity to take photos, those film camera, so we will, whenever we go out, my go out for excursions or go out for trips, special trips, my dad would take photo and then would develop the photos. So select carefully, you probably don't want to develop so much because they cost money. We used to do that. Now we do that with pictures, but with the capability to take videos, which can capture much more of what the interactions, the event, the happenings, much better. But it's just we're not doing so. Maybe we do take such videos of our kids and so on. We keep it. That's great. Please continue to do it, not just pictures. But what about yourself? How do you remember yourself? How do you want others to remember you if they are not taking videos of you? And it's so accessible. Why aren't we doing it? I think it may not be that you have to be like me, set up a YouTube channel and then make it public, take videos and show it to everybody. Not that anybody is interested, But at least I thought that you should just document down some of your experiences, some of the things you do, some of the memorable things with you. It could be just yourself, it could be you and your family. Why not? What's there to lose? So I think you should just do it. There might be some concerns like being camera shy, privacy concerns, and also data storage concern. The last one is a very real thing. Some of these 4K videos take out a lot of space. But these are things that you can mitigate. You can find a way to go around it. But once you miss that opportunity, not just a single event or trip or excursion, but if you just don't do it for a decade or a phase of your life, they will be gone. It might be some of the memories that you cherish later on. So why not? just go and do it. As part of this recordings, I realized that there's a lot to learn. Like how do you try to speak not in a presentation mode. It's like, but it's a bit weird. I have to say, it's a bit weird because you're like talking to yourself, thinking that you're talking to people later on, but people can't reply to you unless they comment on your video. So it's a very interesting, weird experience. But why not? I used to do blogging. I used to write some diary, but I think this is just a video version of what I have been always doing. So that's it. So I hope that these 3 points, at least a subset of it, will resonate with you. Moving on, now I'm 1 month down of my 8 months long break. I hope to do more music. I hope to be able to record and to play something that is presentable. I haven't done so yet because it's not presentable yet. I hope to do more music. I hope to do more challenges, personal challenges. Like I'm going to cycle around the whole island pretty soon and things like that. I'll also be going for overseas trip with the family and also myself later part of the break. So stay tuned. I hope to capture more of these memories, primarily for myself or for my family later on, but hope they can be also mildly interesting to you. So that's it. Thank you. Bye bye.